Yeah, and this is part 3 because lol, because I'm really bad at using the camera. But yeah, this spring is really wacky. But I think this goes right here. Yeah, this is part 3, not because I was smart enough to go look at the footage, but just because I don't know how to use the camera. Come on, buddy. Work for me! Oh, it's great. I really need to do more research. Take everything I say with a grain of salt. And probably a dash of pepper. But all the settlers who tried communism, and people just aren't motivated to, you know, when all their work just goes into this community pot that everyone eats out of and they don't get any direct benefits out of it. Is this weird thing? People just aren't motivated. Am I breaking that now? Possibly. Okay, so what I need to do is not that. I really don't want to take that piece out. So, pull it back. Like this. Wait, will it swing forward? It might sink forward. Because it's like, it's a double-sided spring. That is cool! Okay, I'm pulling it out. Because I think it's cool. I think it's cool to pull out. The whole thing pops and like flies everywhere, but that's a double spring right there. Oh, I'm sorry. I am moving this around and it's not showing you guys how awesome this is. So this thing, yeah, the two little metal tabs here, it makes it like a double spring, double-sided spring, which I just think is so cool. If you just zoom out here, whoops, I was in for that. I don't go out of frame again, and you're all like, this is great, we have no idea what he's doing. Awesome. I've never seen one of those before. Sure, that's all cool. So this goes something like this. 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 There we go. There we go. There we go, buddy. But yeah, not fighting other wars is really great. And it kind of goes back to forced charity because, like, as I see it, it's the government's job to punish the evildoer, to not, you know, think, oh, wait, let's try to figure this out. How can we keep this stuff from happening? You can keep it from happening by letting people know that when they kill someone, when they shed man's blood, as the Bible says, by man their blood will be shed. And by exacting real punishment for crimes, you know? Yeah, like when you steal something, you don't just go to prison and, you know, sit there. The government isn't for punishment. The government, I mean, well, yeah, they're there to punish. But not in the sense like teach them a lesson, but in the sense bring justice. So in the case of murder, when man's blood is shed by man, then that guy, when a man sheds man's blood, then that guy, other guys are going to shed his blood. Sorry about all that. And we can get it straight out of our NASB right here in 1 second. We can hear what Willis says. We can hear the truth. Oh, that just like hooks in there. Okay, okay. I see where you're coming. So when this is back, this thing springs up in there, which holds the trigger down. Which, watch this. Okay, never mind. I was like, watch this. When I pull down here, then that's going to go up in there. But yeah, it's not like that at all. Alright. Brain work. I know I'm asking a lot of you, but I just feel like it would be for the good of us all if you just worked. So I guess when this is all the way forward, then this, and this is the gear, you know, just so you guys see it. I mean, the gears are kind of cool. Gears are definitely awesome because it makes pulling it back so much easier. It's beautiful. These guys. Good, so that's like a little spacer. So it doesn't actually maybe rub on the face of that. Yeah. I got triply distracted, which is not unusual for me. It isn't the government's job to police the world. It's the government's job to police their country. And if people, you know, I'm not saying that we, you know, should have nothing to do with things going on around the world, you know, but that's not the government's job. The government's job is to protect the people and to punish the evildoer inside the country, not every single evildoer around the world. Now the people can start their own private army. The people can give their money to certain causes, you know. Let the people, you know, it goes back to forced charity. So yeah. Mind your own business, government. Mind your own business. The problem is government are run by people who like power, and, you know, as a lot of board games and video games demonstrate, people like conquering things. People like using an army. And I've apparently, you know, I could be wrong about this because I haven't been a politician who's commanded an army, but I don't think it stops at the virtual make-believe level, but there's actually, you know, satisfaction with commanding around an army. Surely I will require your lifeblood, this is from Genesis 9:5, require your lifeblood from every beast I will require it, and from every man's brother I will require the life of man. Whosoever sheds man's blood, by man his blood shall be shed, for in the image of God he made man. As for you, be fruitful and multiply and populate the earth abundantly and multiply in it. So the solution to shootings is not to take away everyone's gun. It's to let everyone have a gun so that in the case of a shooting, they can shoot the shooter. As we saw in that whatever store, the Good Samaritan with the gun, and everyone complaining about that. You know, if you got a guy with a gun who is well trained, know what he's doing, he can take out that guy very quickly. And yes, people are going to do stupid things, and believe it or not, people are always going to be able to do stupid things. You had the whole like knife serial killing in Canada. It doesn't change. It doesn't change the human heart when you just, you know, go and freeze the sale of all handguns, whatever. Bad people are going to be bad. And yes, you're never gonna, you know, create a world where it's impossible to do damage. There's never going to be a safe world until Jesus comes back. So, one, arm the people so that they're ready and prepared. And then two, punish the evildoer as God says. He sheds man's blood. By man his blood shall be shed. But I believe, that stops at the border. It's not the government's job to go around and police other countries, But it stops right there. I know I was talking about war. Somehow. But yeah, anywho. And yeah, well, the Free Burma Rangers aren't a private army, per se. They are a good example of people doing good via a private whatever. And individuals are just better at not making mistakes than a government managing things that they don't know about. The person who doing it has a better idea of, how things work than the person not doing it. Believe it or not. Ugh. Okay, so that other little one goes right there because we have 3 little screws. So I'm going to put that one right there. No, this probably didn't fix anything, but it was fun. It was fun. And now I have an idea of how to work this one. And I got this from Target, which is miserable because Target is miserable. For a ridiculous low price. So I'm not like over whatever, like, oh, this is terrible. But yeah, speaking of big miserable companies, Amazon is kind of scary. And this goes back to, hey, we need a smaller government, and just the government needs to do what the government needs to do. And monopolies. It is not the government's job to regulate monopolies. It's the people's job, The people can stop monopolies. Like, the monopolies are so, like, overpowered because the big companies can just whack out the little companies by lowering their prices so that they're, like, losing money. And then when the little companies go out of business, then they, raise their prices and they have the monopoly. Like, dudes, that's a problem, like, if you're trying to combat it with the government. But that's not the problem. That's not a problem if you're trying to combat it with the people, because the people don't have to buy this stuff even if it's ridiculously cheap. Which I feel like stuff on Amazon is ridiculously cheap. And hey, if you don't want a monopoly, don't fall for the ridiculous cheap thing. You're not wasting money. You're saving you and some other people a headache paying the normal price. You're not saving, quote unquote, as much as you could. But you, in the long run, might not be saving at all if you're just, supporting their monopoly. So, I'm trying to. Haven't ordered anything from Amazon in the last 2 hours. Okay, it's been longer than that. But it's scary, man. It is scary. But yeah, we the people are really powerful. We the people are really powerful if we will just stop being lazy and do something. We can get things done. Hey, we can, like the whole Ukraine thing. Our government has no business going sending money over there. If the individuals want to send money to Ukraine, that is totally fine. If the individuals want to go and fight and die in Ukraine for a godless country, as I understand it, at least a very ungodly president who supports abortion, supports taking guns from citizens. What do you know? That's just about everybody these days. Because people with guns is really scary. Because, if you say something that they don't like, then they might, use their gun to disobey you. And that's just scary. And a lot of other rotten things, Mr. Vladimir Zelensky. So yeah, if the citizens want to go do that, they can go do that. They're gonna give account in the final judgment of what they do. But in a sense, they are free to do it. They're free to do it on horizontal. They're gonna give account vertically to God. But, yeah, they're free to go do that. But we shouldn't be forced to do that. And then there's the argument that, like, what we're giving them is just military, old, outdated military stuff. Hey, and, you know, it's not, we're not really giving them all that money, and we wouldn't do anything else with that, with that equipment. It's like, give it to the people. Support the militia. Come on, yeah? Or at least sell it to the people. We don't need to be giving that junk away. You guys have debts to pay. But you guys don't care because you don't care. Sorry, I'm getting really mad here. They don't care because they don't care. Do you understand? I'm making a lot of sense here. Almost as much sense as someone else. Look, Jake, no malarkey. It is just great. And maybe it's just total distraction, but our presidents, at least the ones, you know, I kind of know about, is just like, being a comedian wasn't a part of, like, a job description, y'all. You don't have to do something stupid every week. Oh. You can be sane people, you know? You can be normal people with your head screwed on straight. Though, I mean, some of them can't. You know? At some point, the body just starts shutting down. And, you know? You can't do your job. I feel like I didn't put screws where they needed to be put. 1, 2... No, this is bad. This is bad because I think where the screws are in that blue box. This is me just undoing all the work I did. And you do not have to take off the back one. And this is actually a sort of good thing. Because I just remembered that I did not tighten the screws that are doing this. There we go. There we go. And I am just going to dump these screws out here so I don't lose them. So, oh, this is so something like I would do. Yeah, I see an empty hole there. Okay. I'm just totally losing my train of thought. I've been probably talking about everything. Yeah, it is crazy. I mean, it's been forever ago since, you know, Canada froze the sale of all handguns. It's just like, that is insane. That is insane. And the whole, like, the whole protest thing was insane. Wow, our communist neighbor to the north. I know, they're not communists, they're just socialists. Dropped a screw in there. Never going to see it again. Just like you're never going to see your liberties again if you don't start doing something about it. Oh, me oh my. Such a mess. And ultimately, we need the Lord's working. We need the gospel to go forth and the Spirit to come in power and open the eyes of the blind. And believe me, there are a lot of blind people, and I don't have 20/20 vision either. But by the grace of God, I can't see. So now, you know, it's men walking like trees. I have a glimpse of reality. Versus the blind leaders of the blind, who are just leading people in the ditches. Not very smart, let me tell you. And I think they figured out where the ditches are, and they just keep on leading people there because they don't like going the right way. It's like, really, all this junk you guys are pushing doesn't really help you. You're just doing it because you're depraved. Because you hate God and His order. God told you not to jump off bridges. Then all of you guys would just be jumping off bridges because you hate God. I'm like, ah, it's coming out of the frame, but it's just coming out, sort of coming out of the slide. I got this. I got this. Come on. Come on, baby. I did not get that one. It helps if you unscrew all the screws. It really does. It's just an amazing thing. Amazing things. Amazing things. Yeah. I'll say it again. People need to do stuff. People need to do stuff. You can't just sit around and say, oh, it's terrible. You need to do something. Been probably overdoing it, but probably definitely been overdoing it. Been calling about everyone a stupid idiot these days. But, I mean, yeah, get to work. Get to work. Peoples, we have to get to work. Solinsky's Rules for Radicals. I think it's a good read. Not because it necessarily has, you know, Solinsky was a great guy or has good stuff in there, but it's good to know, you know, how they can war, how they war. But also like reading it, like thinking about, you know, Christ's command to us. Wise as serpents, but harmless as doves. That's obviously reading it, you know, not what they're thinking about. So we need to be careful that we're harmless as doves. We're not sinning against people in our fight for liberty, but not harmless as doves in the sense that we're just like, oh, we don't want to hurt anyone's feelings. It's not what we're talking about. We're talking about not sinning against people. I need to read Doug Wilson's Rules for Reformers. I need to read a lot of things. And all of us need to be reading the Bible more. So easy to get into things. Become a fan of something. There is no screw in that hole. As Christians, we need to be people of the Word. Stop learning stupid trivia about things that don't matter. Know the Word. And I'm preaching to me. I'm preaching to me. It's so easy. It's so fun. Just have your little thing. Like, I know all about this, and this thing is awesome, but man, that should be the Word. Hey, and if anyone's watching this, let me know in the comments what you think. If you feel like doing that, no pressure. YouTube's weird. Not that it has anything to do necessarily with comments. I just like saying it. So I'm gonna snap this other one in here. Oh, that one isn't even snapped in. Funny. It's not actually funny. I'm just kidding. I'm just pulling your leg like all the politicians are doing. I think I dropped some screws that were in there. No, I think I dropped screws that were in here that I didn't screw in. Yep, that bottom rail. Oh, that is cool. I am so not smart, but I was thinking that was a spring-loaded slider thing, but that's just a weird design slider thing. Sorry, I don't have any attachments currently put on that. What would you even put there? You could put like a grip maybe down there. I need to get this back in the frame so you guys have something to look at since you can't look at my ugly face. Come on, Splinternet. Yeah, I don't know what I'm talking about. Splinternet just sounds better than our net. We have so much technology and we are so bad at using it. Our kids should be so bright. So bright. The public schools is making them so stupid. I just dropped a screw in there. I am not loving myself right now. I just dropped the screw in there. Ooh, it fell out. It fell out. It's a small miracle. Small variety of those miracles. I'm really not happy about the whole regulating of guns and stuff. Like, doesn't that fall under infringe? Like, you know, if you say I have to have some weird background check and all this garbage to get a gun, aren't you kind of infringing my right to keep and bear arms? Ain't you? Ain't you just kind of making my life difficult? Alright, I shouldn't get too loud. We go back to that my little short with me yelling and screaming. Ugh. Sorry, this thing keeps on running out of the frame, doesn't it? Terrible YouTuber. Might actually be a good thing. I love how easy this is. I can just talk my head off like as if I was talking to someone. And I can also just work on this Nerf gun, which I was planning to do. And it's like win-win-win, except for the person who has to watch this. I think I didn't lose any screws. I think I didn't lose any screws, which is it's another small miracle. It's waning, y'all. It's waning. The sky got a leak. got busted up. Are you serious? Part 3 is 30 minutes long. So this whole thing is like over an hour. Man, I've been yammering away. And working away on this. You know what? If I really paid like... Even if I paid 12 something... We are so weird. Like, so disconnected from how much our work is actually worth. Like, sure, I guess, I mean, there was the experience of that, but, like, economically, like, that probably wasn't worth it. I mean, except it was laid back, easy work. But, I guess time-wise, like, that wasn't really worth it. If, you know, if you say, I always run at such a time for, you know, whatever. That just wasn't worth it. Oh. But yeah, there it is. Oh, why do I sound like an old man? Screws just fell out because I didn't screw them in. The never-ending repair. Oh, stand up and all those lights just start turning on like on the dashboard. Yeah, just don't make vague references to jokes. Did I just say my name? You guys know my name now. Josiah. Some people get my name wrong. So, like, sometimes it'll work okay. Like, now. But then it just gets harder and harder, which is kind of weird. But I like that it still works. More or less. Well, yeah. Thanks for all that. And I don't feel like I wasted any time. Because I really just talked. It's like having somewhere here that doesn't interrupt you. It was awesome. Thanks for not interrupting me. And lucky you, you could have turned me off whenever you wanted. I mean, blessed you. Excuse me. I don't want to end up in heresy camp again. Heresy confinement.